Hello everybody, today I'm going to show you some mechanisms in Plain Crazy that I've figured out over the years. Well, not necessarily years, just the time I've had here. So, I'm going to go ahead and look over here for some mechanisms I've used in past creations. Okay. So the first mechanism I'm going to show you is the shooting mechanism. Now this is where a magnet repels a ball at high speeds. You can put this magnet in a tube at the end of the tube, and this tube can be like a gun or so say, and the bullet will be right here, and you can use the magnet to repel the bullet, shooting it out of the cannon. So now, the next mechanism I'm going to show you right here is a type of moving mechanism. It's extremely useful in some of my things, and it goes like this. We just have to make the suspension as stiff as possible, and there. Now look, when we press R right here, this moves it down. And when we press F right here, this moves the spring up. So if you have like a wing that needs to open right here, this is perfect for that. Or if you have suspension and you want to have it adjusted, like the whole car goes down or it can go up. I actually have one of my models that's not for a video, but it's adjustable suspension car. I'm still working on it, but look right here. When I press R right here, it uses the suspension and ropes, and now this whole body car goes down, as you can see right here. There's a rope and two springs. And so you can see, just look at the body ridge right here and the circle. I can make this a better color for you to see, because this is not like the best color. Yeah, whatever. I don't care necessarily right here. Okay, so look at here. You can see right here. This and the wheel right here and this right here. When we press R, it tightens the suspension and this gets tightened down. When we press F, this whole thing lifts up. And it's actually quite useful because the suspension right here is very good. Now you can see how responsive the suspension is. You can see that wheel's moving up and down. Yes, right here. So anyways, that's another one. And the last video I made before this was the video on the shooting tank, and I included two features: the spring and the rope that I was telling you about that would move up and down, and also a folding mechanism for any boats. Now here's the folding mechanism. You know how there's this slot and it's not that big, honestly. It does look pretty big, but it's not very big. And if you want to make a boat or anything, you just need something to be able to be bigger than this slot. So here's my example. I'm just gonna add it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So now this has to be opposite numbers away from each other. It can't be, see right here, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's an odd number. But if it's an even number, it won't work. In my case here. So now, what I'm gonna do right here is show you how the mechanism can fold. And now I'm gonna go all the way, and since it's an odd number away, there's a middle point right here. That's where we put a motor. This motor goes right here. Then we can lift this up, just one block, then get some blocks and put them under the motor right here. And now what's gonna happen right here, I'm gonna show you in a little bit, is that these two sections can move. And right here, as you can see, you always have to adjust it before it's good. Right here there's needs to be one block of a difference, so I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I'm going to put a block under here. Now that should do the trick. Yes, and now as you can see, the mechanism has unfolded to create a rod that's quite long. Now I didn't make these two rods long enough to be bigger than the slot itself, but you can see as this comes in here, they have made a longer rod out of two separate rods. So you can just make a boat for say that's hollow in the middle, and then with this mechanism you can make it to be longer than the slot itself. It's just unfolded yet. I'm going to give you different viewpoints of this. See here, this is the point of rotation, and it makes sense. Okay, so that's one of my mechanisms, and this isn't only going to be mechanisms, it's also going to be some tips that I show. So, you know, cars, they're whatever, they're quite cool, I love cars, and they always have those headlights that light up and backlights. So now looky here. You can make this too. So we just put this, these are some glass blocks right now, and now there's nothing else to do with them. With the body of the car being whatever, if the body of the car is for say red, then this glass is kind of pointless because there's no light shining through it, and it's going to be a little hard to see. But you see here, light blocks. Light blocks are extremely helpful. You put one here, now you have something to see around. And I'm going to put some extra regular blocks around to show you just how useful a light block can be. While everything else is this weight pointer here. I don't know how to get rid of it. There, okay. Now as you can see here, there's not much but this light, and it's accurate because on some car headlights you always see like these circles on the glass. I'm gonna put an image up here, and you can see they're just like circles, and this kind of represents it. So we can just adjust the range to whatever we'd like, and then I'm gonna go get a main pilot seat, and voila, you can see right here the headlights light up. So that's basically just a light block shining through glass to make realistic headlights and tail lights in a different way. So that's really just one of the tips. I'm going to keep looking at here for mechanisms I use. Okay, here are some tips. Whenever you have, for say, a spaceship, you know, like, I've not made much spaceships over here, but anyways, for say you have a spaceship and you want it to take off vertically, but you don't like having those, you know, poles connected to motors, and you see right here, it's just like, there's a motor right here, then after that there's like some kind of rocket or jet engine. So right here it's just like that. And so you don't like it like that. You know, the motor is going to be able to turn the jet engine and you can take off from the high, but you want to do rockets, you know, just take off directly from here. you want to do it a different way. Well, if the spaceship is much too heavy to do that, then use helium blocks. Just put helium blocks and color them whatever you like. They always go in normal colors. And what helium blocks do is they always make the weight lighter. And you can just keep adding helium blocks until the spaceship starts to float by itself without any assistance of rockets or any kind of engines. And so just put enough helium blocks right before the spaceship begins to float. And so then you could take maybe even a propeller or so. Maybe a giant propeller engine or something like that. Small propeller engine or a giant one. And the whole thing will lift up easy peasy. So to make your spaceship lighter, or anything lighter you want to do effects, then you can just add helium blocks. And if you want, right here, I have a monster truck right here. I'm gonna go ahead and show it to you. Here's my monster truck. Now, do you see anything weird? Well, one fact right here is you can see these aren't stiff in any way. The stiffness hasn't been affected. It's only 20. Well, that's because I added helium blocks all over this monster truck to make it lighter. See right here? I go ahead and go to fixate, and you can see right here some blue squares appear. That's because I added helium blocks to the car. See right here? There are these light blue squares that appear all over the place. Right here. That's because I used helium blocks to make the monster truck lighter. And also, once the monster truck jumps, it's gonna have like an epic jump right here, and it's gonna flip. Only because this isn't possible in real life, because you know, there's no way these wheels can be on springs only without any axles or engines or that stuff. Yeah, not only that, but there also has to be a model in the middle right here connected to them. This is actually impossible in real life, but hey, plain crazy, physics are bad, and you can use this to make stuff. Anyways, so that's another tip. What else have I got here that I need to share? Okay, another thing is, say you didn't like using these wheels. Like, these wheels are good, but it's only one size only. See, it's only one size right here. And all others are like, what's a train wheel? Well, this is a train wheel, not training wheel, a train wheel that's used for the railroad tracks up here. But anyways, instead of using these, you obviously, or not, know that cylinders are round, and these would make great wheels. But, you know, the only thing to propel them is motors. Or something else, and when speed is up here, and speed is up here, they're likely to max out at 187 speed, or if it's different, 300 and so, and you want it to be faster. So you don't need the cylinders to rotate then. These cylinders don't need to be rotated. You can use rockets hidden under a car to help with that. See here, since I'm not doing a video on the concept car, I'm gonna bring it up here. And now the concept car does use motors, but it also uses rockets right here. You can see there are 2 rockets right here. It's also using my light system, light against blocks. And now, as you can see right here, you can hear that. Yeah, it may be a little loud, but as you can see right here, the speed is growing much faster than usual, and it will go higher than 300 speed. See right here, it's going higher. Anyways, yeah, I can go ahead and take a look at the bottom if I can flip it. This thing usually flips quite easily. It's weird. Must be my lucky, but unlucky day. It's so ironic. I want it to flip over, but Usually in other videos it doesn't flip over. Anyways, those are some of my tips and mechanisms, and that will be all for today.